Yeah, I live with our mom because like my mom recently got divorced from my dad. But what's crazy is when that was happening, my mom is actually my aunt, and my dad is actually my biological dad's brother.
Yeah.
So I was like tripping. I was like, bro, like what the heck? So then I realized they tell me I got 10 older siblings. I'm the 11th child, and like my aunt and uncle took me in because like my real parents couldn't like provide, like they're like farm workers, bro. Like my brothers and sisters would wake up 4 in the morning, go to the farm, dude. Like they were breaking their backs.
Damn.
And I was sent here. I'm like, dude. I'm like, they call me like the promised child, like, and I had all this pressure, like, move to America, be successful, like like all our hopes and dreams are on you.
Get an education.
Get a good education, be the first one to go to college, or like do something, Then like, but yeah, back to that point, like my parents like split, so like I came back and like I just wanted to be there for my mom, because she's the only Espirito. That's our middle name. That's my middle name, but it's her name from her side. That means the spirit in Spanish. So she's by herself, like no Espirito here. It's all Yase, like my Yase side, like my dad's side. They all live here. And what was crazy was like my dad's side was ganging up on my mom, but really it was like my dad that like he's the one who left and cheated on my mom. So what was really difficult at the time to comprehend was like that was happening, and just being there for my mom and going against like everyone in my family. Like how I talked about Filipino culture is like so family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I like cut everyone off.
Damn.
Like my brothers, my sisters, like my real parents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. Like everyone's like, what happened to him? And like, is he okay? Like, what's happening in his life? And I was like, dude, like, it's just something like I'm just taking a step back, like this is like I'm like trying to work on myself. Like mental health is like real, bro. Like,
Yeah.
take care of yourself. You know what I mean?
So wait, what's the issue? You said, so have you met your biological parents?
Yeah, I met them like my whole life. They were there. It was crazy because I thought they were my
uncle.
I thought they were my aunt and uncle the whole
Yeah.
time, but I called them Tata and Nana. Tata means like a father figure, and Nana means like like nanny.
So you found out your aunt and uncle were actually your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Oh, so it all worked out.
Yeah, and like my dads are actually brothers. My biological dad is the older brother, and my adopted dad, he's actually the younger brother. But they look like me, so it like blended all out. Like it's crazy.
Have you met your siblings?
Yeah, they're like super dope. Like they're super dope. Like
are they like still farm workers?
my oldest one grew up with our grandma from my biological mom's side.
Okay.
So she didn't grow up with my siblings at all too. She's like me. But what's crazy is like me and the oldest one have like a similar mindset of like we can coexist without anyone. Like we can do our own thing. But what's crazy is the siblings from like 2 to 10. Okay, guys, before we do something, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about this. And like, dude, this I don't like it, man. It's like the lobby or whatever. Like they're taking forever to make a decision. Mm-hmm. Me and my oldest sister, like we always get left out because they're always doing something like, and we feel left out because we live farther away from all of them, and they all live right next to each other in the Philippines. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird, man. Like coming from an only child to like realizing I have like 10 older siblings. Dude, it's not. I got 7 older sisters, bro. Like
7.
Damn. And you know how like I couldn't like talk to a girl without them saying something like stupid. Like I'm like I thought they were my cousins the whole time. Then my brothers are super cool.
Why didn't they just tell you, hey, we're not your aunt and uncle, we're your mom and dad?
They thought I couldn't comprehend like or process it. Like like I noticed I seen in some cases like people like start resenting them and like turn their back. Like once they tell the child, oh, we just adopted you. Mm-hmm. Like they probably thought they were scared that I was gonna turn my back on them and like go AWOL.
On your mom and dad?
Like just the family in general. Like they thought I would hate everyone, but But I came to a realization. I was like, dude, this is so dope. Like, I have siblings.
And it's like your family and like cares about you that much.
Yeah.
Like they knew the situation you were gonna be in wasn't gonna be equal to the situation they could put you in. Still giving you with your family. Like you're still with your family and
Yeah.
everyone's still close.
It
And
was
now
crazy.
it's-
I was there with them, so I was never far away from them.
Yeah.
I thought my siblings were my cousins.
You know, it's funny because you're now the second person recently that I've met that has the same situation.
Really?
Yeah, one of my coworkers actually has the same thing. Like her mom and dad are her, you know.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, so her mom is technically the aunt,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
So he was like,
they just couldn't take care of her. So like
He-
she's still super close with her biological mom, but she still is like raised by her aunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
like for my biological parents, they live in Stockton, and
That's
like
right.
my parents here that adopted me took me in. They live here in Osos.
Okay, I'm so confused. I'm actually sick of this
Okay.
whole time. I thought the parents you had in Osos were your actual parents.
No.
So you're living with your aunt and uncle.
Yeah, when I was
But
growing
his
up,
aunt and uncle are technically his parents. Like they're the ones who raised him.
they raised me.
But his biological parents.
They were
live
stuck in the
Stockton.
Philippines. They were like left behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the purpose? So they didn't want. So the parents you have in Los Osos, they're not your biological parents, and
Yeah, they
wanted-
couldn't. There's something that happened where they couldn't have kids,
Okay.
and my real biological parents, like, they had too many kids, but they didn't have the same opportunity.
Right.
Like, they didn't have the same opportunity of like, you know, like finances and everything. Like,
Yeah.
like life was hard back then over there. You
Yeah.
know. And then he had like 10. My dad had like 10 kids. Like, dude, how am I gonna feed all of them? Like, I think I could just give them to my brother because they're having a problem with like
Having a kid.
having a kid, so
Yeah.
they gave me. So it was wild, man. Like,
And you found out about all this recently?
like 2017,
Okay.
2017, like they told me, but it was crazy because the thing is that happened is like in 2017 they told me, but like I wasn't shocked or anything. Like, but then I met my wife around that time, and like my sisters were like super like not for her. Like, I'm like, but in my whole life I'm like, dude, I'm like an only child. Like I do whatever I
Yeah.
want. I don't need your approval. But it was like I was
Balance.
experiencing that sister kind of like they were trying to protect me from something that I don't know, and they think I'm still like 13, 14 years old. Like I don't know what I'm doing. They think I'm like that. And the thing is, like, I told them, I was like, dude, you all need to shut up, man. Just shut the fuck up. Like I just told him, like, I'm like, dude, this is my life. Like I'm with her. Like I know her, you know, and everything. And like, what makes you guys think like you can judge her just because of that? And like my relationships with like my siblings just like went bad, bro. Like I didn't talk to
Really?
them. So it literally went from the most exciting time to like the revealing time to like me meeting my wife too
Shit.
at the same time. I was dating my wife at the time. To like, okay, now there's a conflict. Now like I'm so family oriented. I respect them. I love them. Now at the same time they're going against something and not supporting me. So at the time I'm like, dude, you know, I could think for myself. Like, dude, like this is like I don't care what you guys think. You know what I mean? There's times in life where like people like try to decide like what is best for your future, but deep down inside, like you're the only one that knows what's best for your future, or like what's best for you.
Plot twist: what if you found out your wife is one of your sisters?
Bro, you got me effed up on that.